Dzień dobry, cześć i czołem, drogi widzu. NgeloQuerro z tej strony w kolejnym odcinku Hogwarts Legacy. Prosto z pokoju Ravenclaw, bo właśnie wybrałem sobie ten dom. Chociaż początkowo przydzieliło mnie do Slytherinu. Ale nie, ja tutaj wybiorę coś niekonwencjonalnego. Da się przejrzeć w tym lustrze? No tak średnio najeżdża i w ogóle widzę, że jestem odbity tyłem, tak jakby. No mniejsza z tym.
Revelio.
Czy Revelio nam coś pokaże? Nie pokaże nam niczego. Zatem ruszajmy. Musimy dostać się do góry, aby zobaczyć, gdzie się wszyscy podzieli. Idziemy do wspólnego pokoju.
This should be interesting. One moment. Watch this.
What is this? Someone threw a dung bomb. Let's get out of here.
That wasn't quite the reaction I wanted. Oh well.
Right. What did you hope would happen?
I suppose I hoped it would lighten the mood. Ravenclaws can be a bit on edge the first day of class. I'm Everett, by the way. You seem downright calm next to some of these characters. And you survived a rather harrowing trip here.
Skąd on o tym wie?
I'm glad to be here. Ready for classes to start.
Good. Glad to hear it. Truly, there's no reason to be nervous. Most professors are firm but fair. I mean, not all of the tricks I play are as simple as a tossed dung bomb, and I'm still here.
Wait, did you say most professors are fun but fair?
Ha! I did. But probably best I let you judge for yourself. I do tend to push their limits. I should wander off before someone traces that dung bomb back to me. Nice meeting you.
You too, Everett.
Okej. Całe szczęście, że nie musimy, znaczy, całe szczęście, że nie trzeba tutaj z każdym rozmawiać, bo to dopiero by było. Dzień dobry pani. Co ona to robi?
It's a good thing the owlery is away from the rest of the school. Quite the aroma in there.
I lecimy tu.
Come in and out of Hogwarts every day.
Żartowałem.
Have you ever wondered how owls know?
Da się to... Nie da się tego rozwalić. Ale to i dobrze. W końcu to nie Lego Harry Potter, nie?
Must be
All right.
starting
Deep breath.
in the 5th year.
Why, hello. Would you like to take a look?
Co my tam obserwujemy?
Can't see too much in the day. Well, except for stars like Sirius, Canopus, Vega, and Arcturus. I'm Amit. Pleasure to have you in Ravenclaw. Never met someone who's been so close to a dragon before.
Can't say I'd recommend it, frankly. It's nice to meet you, Amit. I take it you like astronomy.
Oh, yes. So much to be learned from the stars. Also, there's something about the open air and night sky above the tower. It's invigorating. You will adore astronomy. Professor Shaw is incredibly knowledgeable.
I hope astronomy's on my schedule. Sounds interesting.
I have good news for you. You are most definitely taking astronomy. It is required for all 5th years. You will be enthralled with the tower. Plus, a quality telescope can show you things you never dreamed of.
I suppose I'll see you in class then.
Yes. Oh, and speaking of class, better get to my first one of the year. Nothing like the smell of fresh parchment, is there? Be seeing you!
No tak, zgadza się.
I don't think owls make very good pets. You can't snuggle up to them the way you can with a cat. I tried transforming a
I'm not
rabbit
sure
into a
this
dinner
is the
plate
right
the other
spot.
day. Ended up with a platter that had long ears.
Dzień dobry, koleżanko.
I want him to be in the perfect place. A place he'll be happy with. But I can't seem to find it. Great golden gobstones! I want him to thrive here.
Golden gobstones.
My own little expression. I bought this Dittany seedling from home and I so want him to feel cozy. Dittany is amazing, isn't it? So much healing power in such a little plant. I've a bit of a thing for plants, as you can see. Pleased to meet you. I'm Samantha.
Nice to meet you, Samantha. Is Dittany used in Wiggenweld potion?
It is. Looks like someone's been studying up on their potion making.
Actually, Professor Fig told me about the Wiggenweld potion.
Of course. I heard you were studying with him before term. He's an enigma, Fig. Teaches about theory, yet seems to know a lot about practical magic.
Professor Fig does know a great deal about, different forms of magic.
Well, I hope he told you about more than Wiggenweld. You've lots to catch up on, I'm sure.
An affinity for herbology is more typical of a Hufflepuff than a Ravenclaw, isn't it?
Ordinarily, perhaps, but it runs in my family. We've a full plot of these little fellows back home. I suppose you could say herbology is in my roots.
Is it common practice for students to grow their own ingredients?
Oh, yes. In fact, our herbology teacher, Professor Garlick, encourages it. And I don't think Professor Sharp, our potions master, cares where you get your ingredients, as long as your brews are all perfect.
It was nice to meet you, Samantha. Good luck with your Dittany.
Thank you. And good luck to you too on your first day.
Hey there, new Ravenclaw. Professor Weasley is looking for you just outside. You had best not keep her waiting.
Okej, możemy tutaj sobie pokręcić globem, możemy tutaj sobie zjeść jabłuszko, możemy popatrzeć w ogień, ale ja to bardziej bym był nocowym. Serio? Nie mogę przejść? Ale mogę sobie wleźć wyżej, haha. Co wy tu robicie? A, to jest pokój jakiś. Czyjś, chyba nawet. Fajnie, że można tak pobiegać po pokojach. Możemy sobie też tutaj pobiegać u góry. Możemy sobie wejść jeszcze wyżej. Ale tutaj zamek jest poziom pierwszy, czyli nie za bardzo sobie to otworzymy. I ogółem przechodząc tutaj w te lokacje, to widzę, że tak troszeczkę coś tutaj rwie. Nie wiem dlaczego akurat w Hogwarcie tak jest. Zamek poziom pierwszy też nie otworzymy.
Never a dull moment when I go home for the holidays. Last year, my mother said she had a bad chill. She couldn't sleep for fear that Hogwarts was doomed.
No graj na tym pianinie, no. Co jest? A, coś tam gra, tylko tak cicho strasznie, dobra. Nieważne. No dobrze, w takim wypadku możemy przejść tutaj, ale możemy też sobie zejść niżej. Tylko, że niżej pewnie liczy się to z tym, że wyjdziemy do samego Hogwartu. Tutaj akurat jest nasz pokój. Tutaj jest też czyjś pokój. Nawet jakaś ładna tutaj widzę jest kula.
Revelio.
Całkowicie zapomniałem o tym Revelio. Tutaj skrzynka jakaś jest. Ale chyba nie bardzo się tam dostanę jak na razie. Chyba że z niższego poziomu. Kto wie. Okej. Ale wanienki fajne mają. Kto by pomyślał.
Revelio.
A tu ktoś jest? Nie, chyba nie. Wiem, że to nieładnie tak podglądać, no ale... Zadbamy o porządek w kiblach. No dobra. Niczego tutaj nie widzę. Skrzynka jest, ale poziom trzeci. I tutaj również jest jakiś kuferek, ale po drugiej stronie. Okej, czyli na razie tutaj jedyne co możemy to udać się po prostu do góry na nasze pierwsze zajęcia. Chociaż z drugiej strony... bo i tak tutaj musimy na dół zejść, okej.
Why would anyone bother sending
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success.
Cóż to będzie?
Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
O, magiczny ekwipunek.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
Proszę prowadzić, pani wicedyrektor.
The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student.
Ej, on
Why
się
don't
patrzy na
you
mnie.
cast Revelio on this bust and see what details the field guide can provide.
Revelio.
Popiersie Ravenclawu. Popiersie stworzone, by uczcić dom Ravenclawu. Znajduje się we wzniosłej wieży Ravenclawa. O, punkty doświadczenia dostaliśmy. Właśnie odblokowano wyzwanie przewodnika. Tutaj pojawią się twoje postępy w wypełnianiu wyzwań, przepraszam. Wyzwania przewodnika są jedyną możliwością zdobywania punktów doświadczenia. Okej. No to twój czarodziejski poziom PD. Zdobyte w wyzwaniach zwiększają twój poziom i moc. Przewodnik śledzi twoje postępy w wyzwaniach. Wybierz menu wyzwań, aby kontynuować. Zebranie pierwszej strony przewodnika odblokowało nową kategorię wyzwań. Nowe wyzwania odblokowane w trakcie twojej przygody pojawią się właśnie tutaj. Wybierz strony przewodnika, aby kontynuować. Każde wyzwanie ma poziomy. Za każdy ukończony poziom zostają odblokowane nagrody specjalne. Od wyglądów aż po istotne modyfikacje. Nagrody odbiera się z menu wyzwań. Zaglądaj tam często, by odebrać odblokowane nagrody. No dobrze.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Revelio.
Będziemy teraz tutaj cały czas latać i rzucać Revelio. Oho, tajemnicze drzwi i skrzynki dwie.
No time to waste. You've classes to attend.
Odkryj. Nie da się tego otworzyć. A nie da się otworzyć, bo coś tutaj musimy wyczarować. Z tego co widzę, mamy pewnego rodzaju zagadkę. Pająk 1.13, pytajnik 13, pytajnik 21 i węże. Czy tam hydra. Zwał jak zwał.
Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Odkryto punkt szybkiej podróży w płomieni Few. Możesz otworzyć mapę w dowolnym momencie, aby szybko podróżować do dowolnych odkrytych płomieni Few. Na MC. Hogwart jest podzielony na dwa główne obszary. Po lewej stronie mapy znajdują się kwatery mieszkalne uczniów i nauczycieli, a także pokoje wspólne domów i wielka sala. Wybierz rejon wielkich schodów, aby kontynuować. W tym widoku możesz zobaczyć płomienie Few dostępne w tym regionie. Zielone płomienie Few reprezentują płomienie już odkryte, w tym pokój wspólny Twojego domu. Szare płomienie oznaczają położenie nieodkrytych płomieni. Po prawej stronie mapy są błonia, gdzie możesz znaleźć pracownie i inne ważne miejsca szkoły, takie jak wieża astronomiczna, biblioteka czy szklarnie. Wybierz rejon aneksu biblioteki, aby kontynuować. Profesor Weasley odblokowała dla Ciebie płomienie Few w sali głównej. Użyj A, D, aby obrócić mapę i naciśnij spację, aby przenieść się płomieniami Few do sali głównej. Okej.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall.
No dobrze, czyli
You can
tutaj.
get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become auras. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain, and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and... I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the details to himself for now. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
No dobrze, profesorze Wik, co ty masz do powiedzenia?
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
She caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Dobra, z poziomu mapy możesz śledzić dostępne misje. Ten symbol przedstawia główne misje. Przechodzenie głównych misji rozwinie fabułę, odblokuje nowe funkcje i zapewni punkty doświadczenia. Niektóre misje są zablokowane ze względu na wymagania zaklęć i lub poziomu. W takich przypadkach musisz mieć wymagany poziom i lub niezbędne zaklęcie, aby aktywować misję. Nowe zaklęcia można zdobyć wykonując zadania profesorów lub jako nagrody z misji. Zajęcia z obrony przed czarną magią. Idź na lekcję obrony przed czarną magią lub zajęcia z zaklęć. Okej.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Okej, mamy tutaj misję ukończoną. Witaj w Hogwarcie. No dobrze, twój zaczarowany kompas prowadzi cię do tego, czego szukasz. No dobra, i prowadzi mnie przez to. Czemu to jest... okej. Nieważne. Chodźmy w takim razie na pierwsze zajęcie. Nie będziemy tu na razie się skupiać na żadnej eksploracji. Tylko raczej na zajęciach właśnie. Chociaż powiem szczerze... Chociaż nie, to też jest wyżej. I oto jesteśmy.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Steruj różdżką za pomocą, bla bla bla, okej. Levioso.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
Okej, próbujemy.
Let us begin with a basic cast.
O Jezu, co znowu jest, że to tak rwie dziwnie.
See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier.
Przebij się przez żółtą tarczę przy pomocy jednego z zaklęć kontroli, jak zaklęcie lewitacji.
Well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
Okej, próbujemy.
Levioso. This can't be your first duel. Let's just say...
Don't all of these students with this adept.
Protego. Protego. Those things.
I do enjoy my duel.
Levioso.
Try to anticipate your opponent's next move. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down.
Levioso. Protego.
O, gdzieś tam spadł w ogóle.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
Literiniarz dostał.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Ravenclaw.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
Aha, zamek poziom drugi. Ale możemy tutaj z kimś porozmawiać, widzę.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around. Oh, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
Nie, to po prostu możemy porozmawiać sobie z
Always
tutaj.
thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
Revelio.
Revelio nam coś pokazuje? Za drzwiami coś jest, tak? A nie do końca za drzwiami. Szkielet czarnego hybryckiego. Duży smoczy szkielet wiszący w pracowni obrony przed czarną magią. Jest to podobno trofeum zdobyte przez profesor Hecat, gdy samodzielnie pokonała jedną z największych band kłusowników w Walii Wschodniej podczas wielkiej obławy na kłusowników w 1878 roku. Zaraz awans wyrwiemy.
Revelio.
Revelio nam coś pokazuje? Nie bardzo.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance. If you're interested.
Okej.
Till next time. Revelio.
O, dostaliśmy właśnie osiągnięcie. Dostaliśmy też tutaj dodatkowy poziom. Niestety tutaj tego chyba za bardzo nie rozpalimy, bo nie mamy pewnie jakiegoś zaklęcia. Dobra, tutaj nam każe iść na dół, a więc biegniemy. Jeszcze wyżej.
Professor Ronan
Jesteśmy.
We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
No dobrze, to próbujemy.
Akio.
That
Akio.
is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
No dobra, to będziemy mieli tutaj jakąś wycieczkę. Zaraz się przekonamy.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off?
I co ty byś chciał, żebym ja zrobił, profesorze?
Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the last possible moment.
Zaklęcie przywołujące Akio.
Think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you.
Przyciąga cel bliżej osoby
As
rzucającej.
far as possible, but not a bit more, or it'll fall. Yes? Accio, I could keep talking about it. Very good. Not to worry.
A,
Excellent control there.
ej, spadło.
That's it.
No i co?
Very good. Points to Ravenclaw. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up.
Oho.
You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Ej, koleżanko.
What's this?
Kubana.
There we go.
No dobra. Troszkę za wcześnie.
Splendid!
Misha.
Okej.
How it's done.
Próbujemy.
Nicely done. Let us see this.
To się wycwanimy troszeczkę. Zrobimy tak. Ajajaj, za wcześnie to puściłem, no. Na co i ona nie zwycięża w kort przywoływaczy. Chciałem to generalnie tą piłkę przepchnąć, żeby jej wypadła.
Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
Aha.
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Watch this.
Kubana, no.
There we go.
Okej. Spróbujemy w takim razie tak to zrobić.
Do not think I will start going easy on you now.
No, nie da się tak łatwo wypchnąć.
Excellent control there.
No, koleżanko.
Be sharp. That is how it's done.
Spróbujemy w takim razie tutaj. Może być ciężko trochę. Dobra, dawaj.
Not exactly your typical lesson, is it? Not that I mind.
Jest
I will
50.
get you back for that. Here we go.
Generalnie już wygrałem.
Quite impressive.
Jest 1-1, koleżanko.
Very good, both of you. Well done.
Było wyzwanie, ale udało się zremisować finalnie.
Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Good game back there. I must admit, I think I underestimated you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Ouagadougou just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Ouagadougou much bigger than Hogwarts?
Ouagadougou School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Ouagadougou a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Ouagadougou uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand?
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
No dobra, profesorze.
You
A word,
can use
if you
magic
would.
on humans, if you're so inclined.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? You did well, managing to best as gifted a student as Miss Onai.
Thank you, Professor. I enjoyed the match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
No dobrze. Misja ukończona. Zajęcia z zaklęć.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
Revelio.
Czy Revelio nam coś tutaj ukaże? W oddali, niedalekiej za ścianą. A tak poza tym to chyba nic więcej. No tutaj mamy zamek, ale Alohomora niestety nie jest tutaj przez nas znana. No mówi się trudno.
Hello. How was your first day coming along?
Hello, Samantha. Nice to see you again.
I wondered how your first day was going. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
I've been fortunate. Beginner's luck.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I'm afraid I can't count on beginner's luck to impress Professor Ronan.
Okej.
Revelio.
Czy Revelio nam coś tutaj ukaże? Nie ukaże nam niczego, jedynie u góry. Ale dobra, myślę, że to jest idealny moment, aby zakończyć sobie ten odcinek, gdyż